Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co host, Brian.
Go on, everybody.
We're back to talk one of our favorite shows. This is part of our aptly named the Lachey verse. This is Netflix's The Ultimatum. This is season 2 of the main flagship. Look back in our playlist. We have coverage of season 1. We also have coverage of the kind of spin-off season, Ultimatum Queer Love. So we'll be covering the second season of that. I'm assuming will probably be coming later on. But this is week 1, as you can see here in the title. We're just going to do a general reaction here to week 1, episodes 1 through 8. Depending on the reaction, depending on the comments and kind of the kind of interaction we get, we maybe will kind of address some of the things in the comments. So if you want to talk more detail and more about very specific moments that we may not mention, bring it up in the comment section. And like I said, maybe we'll do another video during the weekend or something and kind of address that. We've done that before. So, Brian, before we get to that, I want to hear your thoughts overall, what you thought of week 1, then I'll kind of give mine as well.
It was good, man. I'm always interested to see these Netflix shows because the Lachey's, they don't really miss. These shows are really good to us. They're fun to watch, and I really like that these type of shows, like, it draws in a lot of people, like the audience, like not people you'd expect to be watching these shows because they're Netflix. Hey, let's check it out. Um, just so many good moments, and it always seems like on episode 2 or 3 of this series, they save like a big blow up right for like the cliffhanger, like in from like 1 to 2 or 2 to 3. So that was like clockwork. um I don't know where these people stand. I still, like, after watching it, I don't know like what's gonna happen with a lot of
We're
these
gonna
films,
get to that.
and I like
We're
that.
gonna
I like that.
we're gonna end this episode with our predictions of where we think things are going. Um, my impressions, I liked it as well, Brian. I have a lot of twists and turns. If you were playing a drinking game at home, one of the rules you definitely would have to make for a Nick Lachey, Vanessa Lachey show is Vanessa Lachey reminding us about
Yeah.
their relationship
Hmm.
history. She does it. She's
We
done
do
it now.
blackout.
She did it twice already. She
Yeah.
literally told the story twice already in the first
I,
8
I'm
episodes.
really interested to see if she's gonna like kind of change after like her kind of like debacle in the Love Is Blind live reunion. If
Oh yeah, if that we have that, we also cover Love Is Blind. Obviously, anything on Netflix, we had a review of the debacle of the live reunion, including our TikTok. If you subscribe to that as well, I had literal live reactions as it was being delayed. So we have everything kind of covered there. But uh, by doing a full week review, the best way we can do is we're just going to go by couple and just kind of our highlights. I do have full episode notes for each episode, so look out on TikTok probably over the next few days. I will do episode probably by episode reactions, and it will kind of dive in a little more chronologically. Bry, first one that we are introduced to on the Ultimatum season 2 is Roxanne and Antonio. Antonio is the ultimatum giver, which, as this developed out in week 1, what may have been the most shocking one if you think about it.
Mhm.
They're together for 4 years. She wants him to be more serious, make more money. He's not very self-motivated. um, he just wants her to basically hug him more and tell him that she loves him more, be more positive and not be obsessed with work, but she is obsessed with work. um I did like that really quickly after they gave his introduction. Nick Lachey goes, it's just not a good idea to give an ultimatum. It's like the 10 minutes into his first episode of his show, and he's like, this whole premise is horrible, by the way, guys. Like, you will die. Like, this will end.
Yeah. This is a weird relationship to me because I don't. She like loves him. She really like. She kind of mentioned they were like on and off again a lot, and like they're like best friends. But like, I don't think they should be together at all.
No, it's not going well. It's he's got a lot of insecurity. He did a lot of projecting. He ends up with Kat, right? Roxanne ends up with Alex.
Yep.
So uh, an instant rivalry forms between Alex and Antonio. However, it's really a one-sided rivalry because I really don't think Alex one has any emotions or feelings and two, Antonio just getting big mad and not getting any reaction out of him, I thought was kind of classic TV throughout these episodes.
Him like running. I laughed out loud when he started running in the middle of the night. A lot of
And the
like,
logo pops up.
yeah, there's a lot of late night endeavors in this season where there's like they had a lot of like
Night vision.
situations, man. It was like Ultimatum after dark. Yeah, I told you pre-show I had a lot of trouble in the beginning, probably the first episode and a half. I thought Antonio and Alex, if you showed me them quickly, I thought they were the same person.
They do look like.
They they're definitely not the same personality, like you said. Like Alex is, he wasn't giving a damn about it, anything. It, I kind There's only, and like we didn't. I really wish that the other one of the couples didn't leave early because they kind of set this thing where it's like, like you said, a rivalry where there's no like mixing and matching. And I think that last season that was a little better because it wasn't like, oh, I'm comparing you to her and like you to me type of thing. So that's my only probably like negative thought about the season. But I mean, he worked at McDonald's and then he started dating her and then like started to have a better job. Isn't that what his premise was?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
also like obviously is like a recovering addict or something, and kept calling himself like a knucklehead and stuff. I'm like, you can just say you need to get sober. He's very weird and dodgy with his story.
Mm.
Poor Kat, by the way. I thought Kat was wonderful. I think she's
Yeah, I
great.
can't say anything bad about Kat.
Kind of caught in the crossfire. Her current boyfriend sucks. The fake trial husband she had was even worse. The the uh the stuff with the stuff about Alex's parents texting Kat and just being like, yeah, like she definitely hates her boyfriend. Like she
Mm.
talked a lot of crap on him the whole time, and him being like, why would Alex say that? He's full of crap. He's a liar. It's like, well, no, like his mom texted me and like said these
Right.
things. Oh, well, they're liars too.
Yeah, that a lot of like people calling each other liars, and like even that phone call when he called, Antonio calls Roxanne, and they just like, and that's when he runs over. It's just so many funny moments that.
Yeah, he calls Roxanne. I said, what the F is wrong with this guy? Kat gets offended. She's like, you're not making, you're lying. Then Natasha hangs up on it. He starts running down the street. Um, Natasha and Alex did not have a great relationship, obviously,
Roxanne,
either.
Roxanne.
Oh, not Roxanne, sorry. Uh, Roxanne and him had a horrible relationship.
It sounds like he's a chronic liar
I
based off
think
of what they said.
I think he is, but there I'm telling you, I really think he's one of these people that naturally just has like the emotional stuff just like turned off. He just
Mhm.
had no rise, fall, no anger. He didn't really seem even when he was wearing sarcastic. I think he didn't. I What he said wasn't true. I mean, was true. Like she does not
Oh
respect.
no, yeah. When he's what she's yeah, what he was saying about what he thinks that what he sees, like how she reacts to him, is I completely agree with, and she's just like in denial.
Yeah, well, and they're just focused on, well, did I exactly
Yeah,
say that?
exactly.
It's like, wow, that's how you can tell you guys have problems because you're literally uniting over trying to argue the
Hmm.
vernacular I use.
Hmm.
Like you make fun of him in front of us. You tell him
Right.
he's poor in front of groups of people. Like that's disrespectful. Like
Right.
it's not something you do to someone you love publicly.
Mm.
Frankly, you don't do it privately either. But if you're going to do that, at least be constructive. It's that one was tough. That was a tough one to watch throughout, but again, very entertaining. I mean, very,
Mhm.
very, very entertaining.
Mhm.
Um, I do want to talk quickly about Lisa and Brian. Um, Lisa and Brian were great. Lisa gave Brian the ultimatum. The the ending for them is a happy one, I guess, right? And we'll talk about that here at the end, but I'm upset that they ended up leaving because this was the classic example of someone bringing the person onto the show and it backfiring almost instantly. And Brian was just having normal conversations with like Raya and her going and interrupting the conversations and
Oh my
smacking him in
god,
the like
dude.
pushing him in the face at the first
Oh
party.
my
It was
god.
awesome.
No, it
No,
was
it was
great. It was
really
great
good.
TV, but it was insane. It was insane.
She had an excuse for that, Brian.
She's a Hooters girl, right? That was the excuse.
No, she was pregnant already.
Well, and I think somebody said like, was it Alex that said, do you think she knew, or was it Antonio? This is when I had trouble decide figuring out
I
who was who.
don't think she knew. I think she was
Yeah, I don't think
hormonal.
she knew either. That was a
I think
weird
she
thing
was
to say.
super hormonal and maybe like might have been like an indicator for her, like to be like, damn, like why am I just freak out about this? Like I want to do this show, and then she probably was like, oh, maybe I'm late. Like
Yeah.
maybe I should,
What
that's what happened in my head.
I wonder what Rye thinks watching that back, where she's just like, she's a Hooters girl. She's a Hooters girl. What are you gonna get from her? I was like, oh boy.
What are you gonna learn from her?
The
What are you gonna
reunion,
learn?
that's going to be an interesting part of they're going to be on the show, right? You think, or do you think they just completely are gone?
No, I think they'll be back.
Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting
As long as they don't break up within like the first like 3-4 weeks. It's like I'm
yeah.
sure production will check in on them and stuff and make sure. Like, but even if it's not till like the reunion or something, like that'd be cool. Whatever. Like I just to hear about how they're doing
Mm-hmm,
would be
mm-hmm.
nice. Okay. Next, let's go. We have Ryan and James. Ryan and James, the high school sweethearts. Ryan doing the ultimatum, wanting to get married. It seems like he's had a lot of reasons. His reasons aren't crazy and valid. They're 23. Um, he wants to be financially stable, God forbid. He does put a lot of pressure on himself to have a really good job. His dad passed away. It sounds, I don't know, his dad was like a big business guy or something. They talk about like living up to the great man
Right,
his
that's what
dad
he's saying.
was. So there's a story there. Um, I don't think he's crazy. I just think that like maybe he, like I said, he's never dated anyone else. And I mean, I guess I can understand her point. And but at the same time, we found out she's been also dictating like where they can live and things like that too. So there's a lot in that. Um, a lot of stakes and I think a lot of youngness in that one, Bryce. So I'd love to hear your take.
Yeah, and this is what this is not saying that this is exactly how high school sweethearts go, but you need to like see other relationships so you know what you like can deal with, what you're going to put up with, what you really want. And I mean, if I know like what he went through was tough, but I think if he just kind of said that to her, they probably wouldn't even be here.
It's very fair. Very fair.
Yeah, I mean, he can do whatever. Like, obviously, it's a big deal, but I think he can't. I think what helped him is like he just needed to say these things. I mean, I think they're going to end up together.
I do too. He shares his history of self harm.
Because
Netflix put
they
the
had that
nicest.
blow up in the middle of the night. That like
No,
we've all
literally
been
like
in
the
a fight
five
like
hour.
that. We've all been in a fight
Oh
like
my god.
that.
I like
Ages.
I cringed, dude. I was cringing and I'm seeing myself like stomping around my bedroom at like 1 in the morning, or I'm like, oh man,
What are
this
we?
is
What are we even arguing about? And it's like, and then when it's like 3 o'clock, I was like, oh my god.
when
And
they were cuddling, it was I laughed out
did
loud.
you
I was
say
like,
like
yep.
it's a work night? Did somebody say it was a work night, or did I just imagine that like in a situation that I've been in where it's like
No, I
it's
think
a
you
work night.
should.
We need to go to sleep, even if we're mad at each other. We got to get up in like three and a half hours.
Oh my god, I'm dying. All married people will relate to this and
Yeah,
comment.
like
Please comment to
I mean,
this if you're
I will
not.
say I've not been in a fight like that in a long time, but like I know you those fights like stick with you. They're like engraved in your mind. Those fights you've been in. It's like everybody that's watching the show, they know the fight that they've been in about, and it's always something. I mean, his is obviously a little different, but I'm sure
On
the ones that we've
television.
been in are dumb.
Yeah, on television. Um, the Ryan stuff was tough. The mom, who's the trucker, was cool, and she was just kind of like, like you wanted to work for NASA and SpaceX, and she's telling you have to stay here. And he's like, I could do that same kind of job just as good in South Carolina. I was like, okay, bro.
Mhm.
Also, like, you just think you're just gonna go to NASA? Like, that's not just like like, I don't know. If he had like a job offer or like something, and she had to turn it down because of her, that would be a different story.
Yeah, he was giving me like real Hugo from Claim to Fame vibes.
Dude, yeah, he does look like Hugo. Um, okay. So we get all the way through. 8 episodes is a lot. I mean, we went all the way
What
through.
about Trey? What about Trey and
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah,
uh,
I wasn't gonna
oh, I'm
end the
sorry.
episode. No, it's all good. But yeah, let's do Trey. Trey and
Right.
oh yeah, sorry, it's right here. Ryan Trey. Okay, so Ryan, man, this is a tough one too. Trey, I'll go start with Trey. Uh, Trey, I think is a little tough. 2 years together, given the ultimatum, I think is very early. It does seem like rushing something that seems like it's relatively okay. She comes from a family of bad relationships, so it's one of those things where I think she wants to be cautious. They live together already. He's a big romantic, but doesn't feel like she really appreciates that. Not really her love language. Um, she's just like kind of not ready. She's like, I haven't had like a lot of jobs or like life experience yet. Again, I thought another pretty valid reason for them to not be married. And man, though, does he dive into it? They have a whole episode entitled after him. Episode 4 is catching feelings because he admits that he's
Yeah.
catching feelings, and that is a deal breaker for her, basically throughout the process. Like you can't, and like her sister's like that's okay for him to admit, but for her, hasn't been okay. We don't know obviously how anyone's ended yet, but how do you feel about them overall? How do you feel about Raya? She ended up obviously with James and did not have a great time there either.
Yeah, there's a couple moments where she was saying some stuff that I was like, I don't really agree with this. Like she wanted to like do like she almost like I felt
Yeah.
like she wanted to be intimate with him.
She did. So Raya and what James brought out probably was what the best observation was. She was just ready to be done with Trey completely, and being able to be physical with someone else would end it. He's saying I don't need to hook up with someone to do that, but she kept saying I need hugs, I need the handhold, I need affection, and she kept saying the only thing that we don't have that we'd have in a marriage is like the affection though. And he's like, so like yeah, like being intimate, like not just hugging and hand holding, but
Right.
like kissing and this and he's like, I'm not gonna do that in the 3 weeks we're
Right.
away. Which again, it's an interesting thing because isn't that semi the point though of going on this show? I don't
Yeah, but I
get it.
feel like if you do that, I feel like you're really and then she's mad at him that he has feelings for
He didn't
Ryan.
even do anything. He just mentioned that he was
Exactly.
catching
So
feelings for
I
Ryan. He
so,
was ballsy though, dude. He was like, "So you think we can like hang out like while you're
yeah,
back?"
well, I know that that was kind of crazy. But the thing, what she said was she's like, I just want to move to the city for a year. And I was like, but I only want to do it with you. Like, so you don't really want to do it that badly. You just want to
And he
do it with
doesn't
me.
want to.
He doesn't want to go.
He doesn't want
The
to
older
at
you
all.
get, you don't want to live in the city, man. It's not that fun.
He just is not into it. So
Yeah,
it's just one of these
I
things
don't know.
where
I just for her to be mad at him because he said he had feelings for her, but then she wanted to hook up with James. How do you think he would have handled that? You know what I mean?
not well.
Yeah. So I don't get that was the thing I like thought was kind of crazy about that. I don't know.
I agree. I agree. All right, really quick, Bry. I want to run down again, and I want your just gut reaction. I'm gonna make it or not make it, and I'll give you mine.
Huh.
I'm gonna go random order this time. We'll go back in reverse here. Kat and Alex,
Together.
same together. Uh, Ryan Trey.
Ryan Trey. I'm gonna say I think they're gonna stay together.
I agree. Actually, Ryan and James.
Together. That's like that's my bet your house bet the house on it.
Roxanne and Antonio.
They should not be together, but I kind of feel like they are going to be together. This is going to be one of those ones where I feel like they're all going to be yes, and then maybe one or two will be together at the reunion type of thing.
We Lisa
Where you
and
at?
Brian, I think is fair to say that they're staying together. Ryan Trey could be a no.
You know, it could be a no, but I just kind of
Actually,
feel
I'm gonna go no on Ryan
okay.
Trey. I'm gonna
All right,
flip my
that's fair.
vote on Ryan Trey and say no.
That's fair. So
More
what
I'm
did you
thinking
say,
about it.
Roxanne? What did you say on Roxanne and Antonio? She like really likes him. That's what like hanging me up. Like that's where I kind of feel like
Yeah, I think they'll
she's
stay
gonna
together.
stay
It
with
doesn't
him.
make any sense for
He's
this.
in. It's all on her. Maybe she won't see.
I
God, the
don't
more I
know.
think about it, the more I think about it. Her parents were interesting too.
I think they want her. I think she used to be a nightmare. It sounds like she used to be a nightmare. She used to be very materialistic and very like
Yeah, she's like, oh, he doesn't
spoiled.
open the car door for me. He's like, what was the thing the dad said? Like, oh, you're watching
The
football on
red
Sunday?
flags.
you got to
Like
turn your phones off when we come to visit. I'm like, I don't do any of that stuff.
the dates need to be a certain caliber. She's like, no, not anymore. You can just go to the beach. It's just all this kind of stuff. It was very interesting. So overall, listen, I'm glad Ultimatum is back.
Yeah.
We have an announcement. Love is Blind after the Altar season 4, September 1st. And then I think it's like September 22nd, something like that, 22nd, 28th, something like that for Love is Blind season 5. So Brian and I will be back for both of those. We'll be back for week 2 next Wednesday night. Like I said, make sure you're liked and subscribed here and on TikTok to catch all of our content. But until next week, for myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.